Lori from Slave Lake Wesleyan Church.
And I'm Pastor Diane from Norfolk Wesleyan Church in New York.
And we have a special guest today.
Yay, love special guests. Which way is she? There she is.
Tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Kylie Dombrosky, and I live in Slave Lake and go to Slave Lake Wesleyan Church.
I am so glad you're with us today, Kylie.
Thank you.
You have been a member of this church for a very long time, haven't you?
Yes, I've been going to Slave Lake Wesleyan Church since I was about 10 years old. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So
and I
about
don't think over 29, so do the math.
Yeah.
I was going to say about 15 years.
Yeah. Well, today is
Find Out Friday.
Yay!
I think we need to rename Find Out Friday because last week we did some food, and you can see we're in the kitchen again. Maybe we should call it Foodie Friday.
Foodie Friday.
Foodie
like
Friday. Yeah. Well, Kylie, you made the biscuits from last week. How were they?
They were delicious. Melt in your mouth kind of texture. If you've ever had the biscuits from Red Lobster, they're very similar. So very, very good. You can just melt some garlic butter on top and away you go.
And she put garlic butter on the top. I never thought about doing that.
Delicious.
Yeah.
And I took that same recipe this week and I made cinnamon rolls with it.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
nice. Well, we'll put a link down in the comments for last Friday's video, just in case you missed it. And
good
you can
idea.
check out the recipe there. But today, we're going to do something I just love. Chocolate.
Ooh.
Chocolate cake. Oh. Now, and Peggy is going, ugh, I have to. This is a cake. I don't normally really like chocolate cake because I find it kind of dry and whatnot. This is not a dry cake. This is so moist. It has lots of liquid in it and it's very rich and it's fabulous. So,
I can't wait.
are we
Me
ready
too.
to start?
We are.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
First thing you do, I've already washed my hands and I've got my apron on because I am a terribly messy person. But ovens, we need to set those to 350.
Okay, and I'm gonna wash my hands.
So real simple recipe. The recipe is going to be down in the comments. I'll have it on the screen too. There's dry ingredients and there's wet ingredients. So you put your dry ingredients in first, mix those up and get them so they're a good even consistency. And then we add our wet ones. So 2 cups of sugar, white sugar. A cup and a half of flour. Now, some people will sift it, and you know how you're supposed to do with cakes. Seems like such a waste of time to me. However, if you do, I'm sure your cake will be lighter and fluffier than mine usually is. 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. Hershey's cocoa is the best, but any cocoa will do.
I actually have Hershey's in my cupboard.
Woohoo!
So I was really happy when I see, well, actually, Lori is the one that, my daughter, she's the one that helped me get all this ready. And she's like, do we have any Hershey's chocolate? Because that's the best. And I'm like, I have no idea. But she said, we do, and she found it.
Hershey's is the best. I have a store brand, but you know, it all works good. So 2 teaspoons of baking soda.
Baking soda.
1 teaspoon of baking powder. Don't get those two mixed up. It's very important to get the baking powder and the baking soda the right amounts. And a half a teaspoon of just regular table salt. And I don't have regular table salt, so I've got sea salt in mine, but you know, it works.
The Kirkland brand.
I don't know what my brand is. And I know that people will say, well, why put it in the mixer if it's just dry ingredients? It's because I'm lazy. Simple. So you beat that together for, you know, until it's mixed up well.
Okay.
So you have an even consistency of brown. Don't put your mixer on 10. Yeah.
Why, Diane? What happened?
No longer be light.
By the way, I love your new cupboards.
Oh, well, thank you.
What did you do with them?
I painted them.
Oh, that's fun.
Went to the hardware store and said, I've got some really dark varnished cupboards. What do I need? And they gave me a product called Sticks. And it's kind of a primer adhesive. I can't remember how they described it, but you can put it on top of varnished wood and then paint over it. Put it on top of oil-based paint and put latex over it. So yeah, and then painted it. So
how long did it take you to do them?
It took me a long time to do the sticks because I did it all with a brush and got a couple of good blisters from it.
Oh, yeah.
And then for the paint, I used a roller and that took no time at all. So
I guess that was a really nice project to do during lockdown and quarantine.
exactly. When I was talking to the guy at the hardware store, I said, "So it's been pretty dead in here, has it?" And he said, "Well, actually, most of the store, yes, but the paint department, their sales are up. And you know what? People are bored and they want to do stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
stuck at home, there's no paint."
Well, it's a great way to connect as a family too, hey? Well, I mean, if you're single.
Your family.
Well, that's true.
I could never paint with my ex.
And my daughter and I, we'd probably be living in different houses after.
Maybe no, just kidding. You can add all of our wet ingredients. 1 cup of strong black coffee. You got that, Peggy?
Well, actually, no. I'm using dulce de leche because I don't like chocolate and my daughter doesn't like coffee. So
And I told Lori before we started this that next time she's in the area, I will make her a cake and give her a piece. She'll see if she likes it or not. A cup of sour milk. Now, I don't have any sour milk. Actually, yes, it is.
I actually just popped a little tiny bit of vinegar
Perfect.
in mine to sour my milk.
Yep, that's what I say. Or you can use lemon juice
Yeah.
to do that. So a cup of that.
Yep.
Half a cup of vegetable oil.
Cup of vegetable oil.
2 eggs. Now, my recipe doesn't say slightly beaten, but I know sometimes recipes do. So if you're used to
I'm gonna beat mine.
fine.
Oh well. I just took mine and just threw it in.
And a teaspoon of vanilla.
Oh, I love vanilla. Vanilla's so good.
My vanilla is from Mexico.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mine's from Sobeys.
Ew.
I actually like Sobeys. It's really good.
Yeah, I usually use that, but a friend gave me this. And then you just mix. And of course, there we go. That's why I have to wear the apron because it just comes up here.
I don't I don't have a fancy mixer. I have a handheld one by Black
Don't
and
have
Decker.
one yet.
Don't have one yet, but mine's by Black and Decker. Black and Decker. I think they made saws.
Forgot my mixer.
Oh, look at yours. You got a nice one too, Kylie.
Woohoo!
It says older than the hills. It was a wedding gift, but still works like a charm.
It was a wedding gift like 2 years ago, right? Because you're only 25.
Once you get the ingredients stirred up a little bit, turn it on medium and go for 2 minutes at least. And since I have a stand mixer, I can do other things while that's going on. This will make a double layer cake. I'm using a Pampered Chef stone bundt cake pan, and I haven't used it enough, so I still have to put oil on my pan and rub it in. But you can make cupcakes, regular cake, round, square, oblong, whatever. And is it really runny?
It's really runny.
Perfect.
Really runny.
It's supposed to be really, really runny.
Okay. If you say so.
But just to give you an idea, let me move this out of the way. Watch how that runs.
Wow. Yeah, well, I don't know if you can see mine or not, but let's see. We'll put it up here. It's like really, really, really runny.
Yeah.
I trust you.
And that's why it's such a nice moist cake, is because there's so much liquid in it.
I think it's going to be fun. Like, I mean, you have to use what you have around the house, and I had dulce de leche, so that's what I'm using.
Yep.
My coffee. I'll let you know how it turns out.
And here's the thing: if you want to make the cake and you realize, oh my goodness, I have no coffee in the house, you can make the cake without the coffee.
Oh, really?
Add a little bit more milk, but not too much. I made a batch one time and forgot the coffee, and it was a good chocolate cake. It wasn't as good, but it was adequate.
Wow. And does it rise very much?
I don't know if you can see the right along the edge. It'll come up to here, but it'll come probably about, if I were to cut like this, I wouldn't be cutting anything off the cake.
Oh, wow.
Okay. A little bit.
I think she's made this cake in that pan a few times.
Oh, yes. So are we all done?
We are.
All right, let's throw it in the oven. And for a cake this size, 35 to 40 minutes. And that's it.
That's it. And while we wait, I thought maybe we could talk a little bit to Kylie and to just ask you a couple questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So Kylie, what brings you to Slave Lake? Like, how old were you? You were 10 years old when you started to come to this church, but what brought you to Slave Lake?
So when I was 9, we decided to relocate from New Brunswick. So I was born in Bath, New Brunswick, and my dad moved out here for work. So there was my mom and dad, and then myself and 3 of my brothers. We and my dad's uncle drove across Canada all the way out here. We barely brought anything, maybe 6 garbage bags worth of things, and that was about it. So we were starting over, but it was a big adventure and lots of fun. And here we are, 30 some odd years later.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're married now.
I am.
And how many children do you have?
We have 3 children. Our daughter is 20 and she's just finishing up her LPN course. And we have a son who is 18 in grade 12 and a 10-year-old son in grade 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how has it been, like the whole lockdown kinds of things? What have you been doing to stay busy and occupied and things like that?
Right. So my husband and I are actually still working. So that gets us, I guess, out of the house. So we don't feel like, we're on true lockdown, because our offices are on lockdown. So we're, the only people in there. So we still go to work, but the kids have been doing their online school. And so it's been a bit of a challenge to juggle, with me being at work and school happening at home, just to try to monitor to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. But definitely lots of walks and bike rides, and we've done a few driveway visits with grandparents and, crafts and lots of movies. And so trying to stay sane. So.
And now Craig's grandmother had a birthday today, right?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, she was 84 today. So we went to the Vanderwell Lodge and did a window visit. She's up on the 2nd floor. So, and it was so sweet. She was just, she was almost in tears, because my husband's family, they are very, very close. And so, when it comes to birthdays, everybody's celebrating, everybody gets together, there's 40 people at every birthday. So yeah, it was hard for her, but it was nice to go, and we all sang, we stood our distance and sang to her. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun. So I guess you can use any kind of icing on this.
Yeah, I have used a chocolate icing. I've used a regular white icing. I even made a peanut butter icing for it one time. Oh, so good. But tune in next week, and we're going to make a boiled frosting for this cake.
Ooh. And we're going to have a special guest again next Friday. So this will turn into like a special guest of Foodie Friday kind of thing. So this will be fun. Thank you so much, Kylie, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
From Slave Lake, Alberta, I am Pastor Peggy.
Hi, Kylie Dombrosky from Slave Lake, Alberta.
And I'm Diane from Norfolk, New York. See you on Tuesday. Be safe.
Be healthy.
And be the church.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.